Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're talking about the Pawnee Bathhouse in Pawnee, Oklahoma, and later on in the show, the triumphant return of listener feedback and some news on upcoming shows. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So summer, we've got some time still before it's warm enough to jump on the water, but I think we may have the most beautiful swimming hole between here and Rogers County.
Today we are talking about the Pawnee Bathhouse, which was built in 1939, and it is gorgeous, dude.
It looks like something, when you look at pictures from like the 1920s and 30s and you see people splashing around at the watering hole, because there weren't concrete swimming pools everywhere back then.
Right.
This looks like that picture.
It does, to a degree. I think it looks like a medieval castle almost. But this watering hole, this bathhouse, is on the outskirts of Pawnee. You kind of cross over the Pawnee Lake on, it's kind of a stone walkway bridge thing. And then up on the hill, you see this beautiful 1939 sandstone building overlooking a pool. And it is impressive.
Yes, it is. And you've got this, and it's not just, when you say pool, I think a lot of people think pool. It's a freshwater pool. This place has sandy beaches. It's got all of the classic amenities right smack dab in the middle of, it's not nowhere, but
no, again, the tree-lined area, the tree-lined landscape, and that, it just kind of makes it look like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But really, it's right there outside of town. It's got all sorts of activities for you and the kids. Like you said, sandy beaches, but they've got diving boards, they've got paddle boats, they've got a huge yellow slide literally just keep your kids tied up for hours just going up and down the huge yellow slide that swirls them right out into the lake. But for the families, they've got, again, the beaches, they've got lounge chairs, they've got a giant trampoline in the middle of the lake with a platform. The platform looks cool. I don't know that you or I or either one of us are up for this platform.
No, I know for sure, with absolute certainty, that it looks fun in the photographs, but as far as me partaking in said trampoline, I'm the kid that would sit on the trampoline and just while everybody's bouncing around, I'm probably not going to do it. It looks fun. It looks like a blast.
The trampoline looks fun, but I was talking about the platform.
Oh, the platform.
Are either one of us going to jump? It looks like it's probably 20 feet.
Okay, you remember when we did the Polar Challenge, not last year, but the year before in Medicine Park?
Yeah.
When everybody was jumping, it was like 3, 2, 1. Everybody jumped in, and I kind of sat down and then slithered into the water just to make sure I could still grab onto the rock. So yes. Only to find out that I'm only in 2 foot of water. Probably going to be the same situation here, only I'm not going to slide off the side of a platform and into the water.
Well, this situation actually is probably a little better. They have lifeguards on duty. They're very attentive.
2 lifeguards to be accurate.
I don't know if it's always 2 lifeguards, but they have lifeguards on duty, and they're paying attention. It's not.
But okay, let's pretend there are only 2 lifeguards on duty at any given time. That's a lot of ground to cover for 2 lifeguards. I don't know how secure I would feel in that situation, but at least they have lifeguards.
Now, you did mention the picnic areas. They have several of those, including kind of a gazebo looking thing. Lots of shade. I love it. The whole thing kind of reminds me of an old fashioned summer camp.
Yeah, it has that, and that's kind of what I was going towards when I was talking about when you see the old photographs of the days of yore, when everybody went swimming in the swimming. We keep saying swimming hole, but that's basically, if you're from these parts, that's what that was. It was the community swimming hole. Everybody converged. It looked like the beach, just a packed beach back then.
But today, I mean, it's not exactly just a packed beach. You're talking well-maintained grounds, the plantings, the organization of the landscaping is gorgeous. The building is on the National Historic Register of Places. Now, because it was built in 1939, I'm not 100% sure of this, but I do not think that the building itself is wheelchair accessible.
Yeah.
At least as far as I could tell. And there are like 60 steps up from ground level to the base of the building.
Yeah, and if I could say one thing, it's not even a criticism. I would like to see what the inside looks like. There's just not a lot in the way of information that kind of paint the picture from the inside. Granted, I know everything you want to see probably is going to be outside in the surrounding area. We're here to swim. We're not here to talk architecture, but I'd like to see what the inside looks like.
I can see that. So some of the things that you want to be aware of, the bathrooms have recently been updated. The shower and bathroom stalls are private.
Yeah.
Price of admission, dude, this is cheap. You can take the family out for a day of fun and spend under $20 for everybody?
I think, are you adding up all of your kids together?
I was adding all of my kids.
For under $20.
It's $4 for everybody over 17 and $3 for everybody from 3 to 16. And then, if you have, I don't know, multiple toddlers in your house, they're all free.
They're all free. So far, I'm in for about $12.
So the facility opens in May and closes at the beginning of the school year.
Yeah.
Which I'm 100% cool with that.
Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about the origin story. How did this all come about? You see buildings like this kind of fall into disrepair. What happened? How did they save this place? How do you save something that's been around since 1939?
Well, originally the Pawnee Bathhouse was a WPA, or Works Project Administration project. It was built out of hand-cut native stone with terraced stairways and landscaping, including a 3-acre lake for swimming.
Mm-hmm.
This was all originally intended to not only bring jobs to the area, but to provide recreation for Pawnee and the surrounding communities. And the project was immediately a success, with the grand opening featuring a water carnival and dignitary visitation, including the governor of Oklahoma at the time and the U.S. WPA project coordinator.
All right, so we've talked briefly about the work projects administration. What exactly did they do?
The WPA was an American New Deal agency employing millions of job seekers to carry out public work projects, including construction of public buildings and roads. Was established in 1935 by presidential order as part of the Second New Deal.
So, we don't hear a lot of talk about the first New Deal or the Second New Deal, but I think more to the point, it was put there to help us kind of recover. Let's be realistic. I mean, this 1935, we're just barely out of the Depression.
Right.
So I think that was a great idea to kind of give us a little bit of a boost.
There are a lot of WPA works throughout Oklahoma, so we'll end up touching base on this a lot in the future.
Yeah.
But back to the bathhouse. The Pawnee Bathhouse was popular for like the next 40 years.
Yeah, it was.
But in 1978, it was closed in preference of a cement pool.
Okay, so my only point I can see the convenience of having a cement pool. It's a little bit more structured, probably a little safer in certain regards, but I can't see how it could be as nearly as successful as something like the bathhouse.
I would agree with that 100%, but the bathhouse did spend basically 25 years vacant. It was in disrepair, Mother Nature taking her turns on it. Local vandals really kind of threatened its existence at all. Like, I've got to believe that at some point in time there were people who were just like, yeah, we could just bulldoze this whole thing.
So after 25 years, I think people started to notice, hey, this is a treasure to the community. It's a treasure to the state of Oklahoma. I think that's the point where I think in 2001, the Design Works team from Oklahoma Department of Commerce, they visited the city of Pawnee. They were intrigued by the stone structure. They were taking a look at it as it's a creative architectural design. And inspired by that, they decided to kind of step in and say, hey, surely there can be something that we can do to reopen this.
So this all happened really fast.
Yeah.
So you're talking from 2001. They were holding public hearings.
Mhm.
In 2002, they were fundraising to get this thing back on track, or back up to par, or back up to snuff, however we want to say that.
Right.
But in 2003, they had drained the pool, removed the dirt, resanded the beaches, added new roof, new electrical, new bathroom fixtures, landscaping, and they had a grand reopening in May of 2003.
And I think it's also interesting to note that they didn't hire a bunch of people to do this. Yes, you had your dirt movers that were qualified to do so, but this was a ton of volunteer hours, a huge volunteer effort. The generations of citizens came out to help restore this to its former glory.
And they did it for a very low amount. When you
yeah.
look at the amount of money that we as a state have spent on the MAPS projects and that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
as far as this project goes, you're talking less than $100,000. They had raised $65,000 in donations from private organizations, private individuals, and they got a $20,000 grant from the state of Oklahoma.
Oh, absolutely. And so May 2nd, 2003 was the official re-grand opening of the fully restored masterpiece that once was and still is the Pawnee Bathhouse.
Getting back to the finances of this
Yeah.
thing, the filtered and chemically treated water in the local swimming pool was tapping into the city budget for $30,000 a year.
Jeez.
And they were making about $2,500, $3,000 a year in fees for swimmers.
Yeah, you're not even coming close to pay. How long would that take?
Never. They're literally
spending.
they're spending 10 times as much as they're making.
Would it be? It'd take what, 10 years or more to pay for the
first year
the
of
first
chemicals?
year.
Yes. So, but in comparison, the Pawnee Bathhouse lake revenue, it exceeded $20,000 in its first year with no chemical or water cost. The lake is naturally filtering the water with a constant flow of water in and
Right.
out. The water's tested twice weekly for bacteria levels, which they say it almost never even hits the register on that.
So with that being said, I mean, it can't cost a whole lot to treat or test the bathhouse water. I mean, it's minimal. Think of a pool, just your own pool. How much you've got to do just to make it swimmable once or twice a week, for crying out loud.
So, but more importantly, the costs are low, but the revenue generated for the city is huge, and the publicity of them doing this has been massive, dude. When they reopened, they were on the front page of the Daily Oklahoman, the Tulsa World. They were on news stations, Channel 6 and 8 and 4 and OETA and Discover Oklahoma. They were all over the place.
Yeah.
And literally people were coming from all over the state, from everywhere. So their tax revenues shot through the roof on something that A, was donated, and B, doesn't cost as much as a big swimming pool costs.
But more to the point, I think a project like this, such a huge success, if it's done anything at all, it's instilled pride in the community. At the end of the day, I say this a lot, it's about pride, taking pride in ownership. You know what I mean?
And again, I think it really boils down to community involvement. For you to have pride in something that's happening in your community, you really have to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, you got to be and everyone involved has to buy into the idea.
But you get a lot of that buy-in from actually doing the work.
Yeah,
you see the results of a hard day's work, and I think this whole town has seen the results of the work that they put into it. I just think it's a great testament.
And it's not about having $1 million revenue stream.
Absolutely
At the
not.
end of the day, sometimes it's just about having a stream. You know what I mean? that people can enjoy together, and I think that's one thing that we lack is there's, especially anymore, just the way the state of the world is, a sense of community isn't just necessarily about the people in your community. It's bringing people from every community to see the work that you put in. To see that best kept, sometimes that best kept secret isn't always best kept secret. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
That
was a confusing sentence, and it hurt my brain trying
to
think.
What I'm saying is, sometimes, how do you draw people to your thing? Well, publicity helps.
Publicity does help.
Taking pride in it helps. I've been to plenty of things that I've heard, this is the place to go. And it was in disrepair and there was trash everywhere. And it's like, am I going to tell 10 more people to come to this thing? I mean, it's
right.
Just, take care of your stuff. Again, it's about pride and ownership. If you're proud of something, then it will catch on.
I agree with that. But if you are interested in more information on the Pawnee Bathhouse, check out the City of Pawnee's website at cityofpawnee.org. Or if you want to check on if the rules are the same or what the hours of operation are, that sort of thing, you can give them a call at 918-762-2658.
Well, stick around after the break. We've got some listener feedback and some upcoming shows coming your way.
Hello, my name is Yuri, and I wanted to take a minute to tell you about how much I love Master Threads clothing and apparel. It's custom made. And they can make anything on anything out of anything. For instance, I'm a man about town, okay? I like to travel around and walk around, and they made me a sack, a custom sack. Well, they didn't make it, but they embroidered my name on a sack that is made out of yak. Can you believe that? I have my own personal yakety yak travel sack, and Master Threads took the time and the effort to put my name in my birthday, and the fact that I'm diabetic, sort of someone finds me, they know that I need candy or whatever. But the point is, Master Threads can do anything. They are the king. They are king of castle. They in charge of doing all the things with all of your apparel needs, your hats. You need a sweater. They can probably knit you a sweater and put your name in your medical and your birthday on it as well. But you need to give them a call at 405-673-3787. Now, if you have the luxury of having the internet, you can find them at masterthreads.usa. No, it's Yuri. It's .us. Oh, okay, sorry. We'll do that again. You can find them on the internets at masterthreads.usa. Okay. I'll tell you one more thing. You can find them on the internet at masterthreads.us.
And we're back. Let's talk briefly. You and I, we talk about reviews. Hell, we've given some reviews, but we occasionally get some reviews on us that aren't bad.
We do have a couple of comments from the YouTubes this week that we want to discuss. So first and foremost, screen name Gold Lightning.
I like it.
He said that we deserve more attention.
We do.
And that we're so underrated.
We're very underrated, and I do need more attention, me personally. I do.
You do.
I don't have enough going on. I don't have enough little kids pulling at my pant legs. Yes, thank you, Gold Lightning, for acknowledging our presence and our existence. You are quite the opposite of some of the ones that we've read.
We absolutely 100% appreciate the call out, Mr. or Mrs. or Ms.
Whoever you choose to be is entirely up to you.
Oh.
No.
I don't know that you can assign a gender to lightning. I don't even know if we should try. Just Gold Lightning.
You're Gold Lightning. You're lightning in a bottle is what you are. Reviews like that are lightning in a bottle to us.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
So we also had another review from B. Rye.
Oh, okay.
From Graham, Texas.
I'm going to think that B. Rye is probably Brian.
B. Rye?
B. Rye? Or B. Ryan?
I don't know.
I like to try to guess what these people's names are. Gold Lightning, you're on your own.
Maybe it's Beer Ye.
Could be Beer Ye.
Beer Ye, Beer Ye. So he said, being from Graham, Texas, I found the story of the Marlowe Outlaws a fascinating story. I've read everything I could find on them. Thanks for the upload. Thanks for the upload/addition.
Or if you've been watching the I call them the Star Labs satellite. Thanks for the uplink. Did you hear about those?
Dude, I've seen them multiple times, and every time I see those Star Lab satellites, it freaks me out for just a second.
Yeah, you don't know what you're looking at.
It's definitely weird.
But if you're uplinking to the Star Labs satellite, be sure to drop us a review there too.
B-Rye, we appreciate
Yes,
the comments. We really do.
You know how easy it is to do this, to leave a comment, to leave a positive, uplifting comment. I like these. I like a review that doesn't babble. You know what I mean? That doesn't babble along. You know,
I agree 100%. So let's talk about some possibilities for upcoming shows.
Yes.
So we have several on the slate, and we're kind of wanting some feedback from people like Gold Lightning and B-Rye, and maybe even you.
Yes.
On what kind of shows you'd like to see from us. So some of the ideas that we've been kicking around, the Gage Artesian Beach is one. Another swimming hole opportunity.
I don't know. Would you give an artesian beach the distinction of being just a swimming hole?
I don't know.
Oh, what to say?
How about the Lost Treasure in Clarita, Oklahoma?
I am a treasure hunting connoisseur. Not an expert, but I do love a good treasure hunting story, for sure.
I do as well, and I think that's definitely a possibility. Or maybe food-related, like Fields Pie out of Pauls Valley.
I've heard a lot of good things coming out of Fields Pies in Pauls Valley, for sure. I don't know that that's an option that we're going to give anyone. We're just going to do it.
I definitely want feedback.
I do. Please, give us feedback. It's so simple to do. Good or bad, we'll take it all, won't we?
We will definitely take it all. And you can basically find us anywhere on the internet.
Anywhere.
OnlyinOKShow.
And those are the Starlink satellites, not Star Labs. That's DC Comics. Star Labs is. But that's okay. You can't find us on the Starlink satellites yet.
Well, this has been the OnlyinOKShow. I am Harley.
And I'm Brett.
And we're out of here. Peace.
Hello. Is this thing on? Good.
What would I do if I was all by myself? You know? I would probably talk to myself. That's probably what I would do. I would talk to myself and come up with all of these solutions on my own, which is part of being an adult, is talking to yourself and coming up with solutions.
Already done. I'm talking about my yakety yak travel sack made out of yak.
Yakety yak, don't talk back. Take out the papers and the trash. Congratulations, by the way, between the Advil and that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, but
I remember when $4 meant something. You think $4 is a value these days?
We're talking about going swimming for $4.
I don't give a god darn.
Steve, I didn't think you would say god darn. I thought you'd go for the goddamn. Oh man, I don't understand. I don't get it. And he's probably gonna go,
My voice doesn't sound like that.
and he's gonna put in parentheses,
More piratey.
like Nifty Grifty. Is Nifty Grifty? No, anyway,
I don't know.
so you get a smiley face, a frowny face, a straighty face,
Or a turd emoji. Yeah, I get it.
I don't know how many people will give you a smiley face and go,
Don't got enough help.
got good products. Like, you cannot use a smiley face for the latter part of your review when the best part about the review is plenty of products, not enough help. We have to learn how to give reviews. People.
Yeah, no, we do. We've been saying that for years. Okay, so let's go.
Okay. And welcome to the show today.
No.
What?
Dude, I need a 3, 2, 1
Okay.
up in this mother.
You said let's go.
Let's go. As in 3, 2, 1.
If I'm driving a getaway car, you think I'm going to wait for you to count me down? No, it's pedal to the metal. We're gone.
Yeah, but
You
if
say,
we're
"Let's
starting
go."
a race, you still have to wait for the damn countdown. You have to wait for the gun to fire.
All right.
I literally just made it. I couldn't tell you what I put in it.
I don't know. It had a sock. There was a sock.
It wasn't a sock.
What was it? I don't know what it was.
That's a flour sack.
Yep, it was. I can taste it. Like a flower, like
like
wildflowers,
like cheesecloth.
Okay.
But You use it to sift flour. Basically, it's a big filter.
What happened? What happened to the guy that
Let's go.
liked pepperoni pizza? All right. 3, 2, 1.